Hello and welcome. Today we will talk about Chapter 8, Employee Benefits. This is a very comprehensive chapter, so it's a very good idea to read it very closely and with a detail that is presented in the textbook so you can offer some of these benefits to your employees, to your colleagues, to keep them motivated and also to be competitive and thereby decrease your turnover and to prevent your employees from going to the competition. So let us start talking about the purpose of the benefits. As you've already read the past two chapters, wages are a means of attracting, retaining, and motivating employees in any workplace, public sector or private sector. However, benefits provide income regardless of unforeseen circumstances. And benefits are no longer a fringe cost. It can be between 25 to 45% of employee costs. Federal state unemployment insurance in the U.S. is a program that's designed to provide compensation to those employees who have been laid off from their employment. Over the last 2 weeks that we've had COVID-19 coronavirus spreading across the United States, unfortunately, many people have been laid off. So we've had over 10 million people over the past 2 weeks who have lost their jobs and who have applied for unemployment benefits through the government. So unemployment insurance is a very good benefit. Social Security in the U.S. is another system that's supported by equal contribution from employer and employee, which provides retirement income, survivor benefits, and Medicare benefits, especially when these dependents or the employee comes to a retirement age, then they can draw up on these Social Security benefits. Workers' compensation is a program that's designed to provide employees with a short payment for medical expenses or even lost wages or income due to injury on the job. So if employees know that there is some risk associated with them becoming disabled or they're unable to do their job because of an accident, at least they will be able to feed their family members. That's where workers' compensation programs can be a huge benefit, and it can attract and retain good workers for your company. So when it comes to income maintenance plans, employees are certainly going to be concerned about their pension plans in the way it is structured. These pension plans, remember, provides them some sort of monthly income, even though it might be a little bit, but at least during retirement, they can feel better about it. The traditional pension plans for the Americans include defined benefit plan, which is offered upon retirement. It provides a stipulated fixed amount of income to the retired worker. And you can have defined contribution plan, where the employer makes specified contributions toward the monthly payments of the employee. Two additional forms of pension plans exist nowadays: the tax-deferred 401k accounts, which is typically providing equal contributions by employer and employee. So if an employee invests $1,000, let's say a month, then usually employers tend to match that, but there's a certain percentage that employers will not go beyond. Cash balance payments are where employers contribute a fixed percentage of workers' income to a hypothetical account and guarantees it will grow at a fixed rate over time. This way, by the time you retire, you have a bigger nest egg that you can receive every single month, some income for your living or for your dependents living during retirement. And many employers are now offering employee stock ownership plans, otherwise known as ESOP. So an employee stock ownership plan is one that provides a unique alternative to a company in financial trouble or in need of improved employer-employee relationships. An ESOP can act as a kind of retirement benefit. So if a company cannot pay its employees higher wages, it can say that the more money we make as a company, the higher level of stock options you'll get. Therefore, there's some risk for the company as well as for the employee. So employees feel good, they work harder in order to make the company successful, and that's where the benefits are shared with the employees. Employee Retirement Income Security Act, or ERISA, from 1974 was the first comprehensive reform law which was passed to protect employee pensions. It places a very strict regulation on private pension plans and protects the vested rights of employees' beneficiaries. The Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation, or PBGC, was established within the Department of Labor, and it encourages voluntary employee pension continuance when changing employment by providing portability. Issues in pension negotiations can include vesting, qualified plan, contributory plans. Vesting is conveying of employees' non-forfeitable rights to share in a pension fund. Qualified plan meets standards set by the Internal Revenue Service from the U.S. government. In contributory plans, or where employee and employer share costs of the plan. The benefit formula is used to calculate benefits that are due to each retiree. So traditionally, benefit dollars equal years of service times base pay times a certain percentage. Usually that percentage is fixed figure that is seldom negotiated. So here the base pay definition becomes critical in negotiation issues. Wage employment guarantees, or WEGs, ensure a minimum amount of work or compensation during a certain period of time for the life of the contract. There's also the escape clause, which is the management's ability to suspend the guarantee for production delays beyond its control. The supplemental unemployment benefits provide additional income to supplement state unemployment benefits to laid-off employees. In this case, employees receive a percentage of their gross pay for a maximum number of weeks when they're being unemployed. Management typically opposes supplemental unemployment benefits because it already contributes to the state unemployment funds. However, bigger companies obviously should take part in this to provide emotional support and obviously monetary support for their employees during difficult unemployment cases or situations. Severance pay is a lump sum or a dispersal of payments that are given to employees who are permanently separated from the company through no fault of their own. Sometimes when a company moves jobs from one city to another city and the employee cannot leave, then you provide them a severance pay. A lot of Americans have outsourced some of their jobs to India or China or Vietnam or many other Asian countries or South American countries. So in those cases, the employees could not obviously take a job in a foreign environment or could not go, or the company does not want to take those employees to a foreign environment because they want to benefit from the lower salaries in foreign markets. So therefore, you provide a severance package for these employees who are left behind and are laid off to no fault of their own. There's also death and disability plans. So these are negotiated benefits to supplement Social Security payments. Usually a company bears the entire premium cost. Employers, however, resist because of their contribution to Social Security, which already provides similar benefits. There's also healthcare issues which can be negotiated. So you can have benefit coverage, deductibles, monthly premiums, co-payments, and choice of healthcare providers. Almost all companies in the U.S. go through these issues, so then we as workers benefit ultimately in terms of how much I have to pay every time I go to the hospital or visit a doctor. The types of health insurance plans are preferred provider organizations or PPO, health maintenance organization, HMO, or traditional fee-for-service or indemnity. There are some issues with regards to healthcare cost containment. We see that controlling healthcare cost increases is one of the major negotiation issues between labor and the managers. The single most important healthcare issue is what portion of the total cost the employer will pay and what portion will the employee pay when he or she is going to the hospital or he or she is being sick. Employee cost sharing takes place through three different methods: co-payments, deductibles, monthly premium contributions. We also have behavior modification programs as another benefit. So they could include cash incentives for health reimbursement accounts, domestic partners, wellness programs, and employee assistance programs. There's also the Consolidated Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act, otherwise known as COBRA. COBRA provides for the continuation of medical and dental insurance for employees, their spouses, and their dependents in the event of an employee's death, termination, divorce, or other loss of health care eligibility. Pay for time not worked usually tends to include holidays, jury duty, civic duty, maternity, paternity, and family leave, blood donation drives, sabbatical leaves, and personal leave. Other healthcare issues in most companies in the U.S. include military duty, grievance and contract negotiations, wellness leave, sick leave, marriage leave, funeral leave, lunch rest, and break periods. Pay for time not worked could include holiday pays, which are found in almost all collective bargaining agreements. Provisions in labor agreements should specify eligibility, holiday rate, which days are paid holidays, and holidays falling on non-work days. You should also negotiate sick leave or time off allowed for an employee because of illness or injury, with a provision of continued employment when the employee is able to report back to work. Paid leave of absence is another issue where most agreements provide leave for military service, education, union business, and personal reasons. Agreements should, although, specify the eligibility requirement, payments that would be received, and scheduling considerations for manager's sake. The issue of premium pay should also be negotiated. So these would be wages that exceed the standard or regular pay rate given an employee for work that is performed under undesirable circumstances. Pyramid of overtime is the payment of overtime on top of another overtime rate that occurs if the same hours of work qualify for both daily as well as weekly overtime payment. Most contracts prohibit this type of payment, and obviously managers would be against pyramiding of overtime. There's also shift differentials, additional hour rates of pay provided to employees who work at the least desirable hours like the evening or night shifts. Other forms of shift differentials can include reporting pay, call-in pay, on-call or standby pay. Being multilingual or speaking a second language or a third language should also provide a premium. So language ability is another area that can be negotiated. Premiums paid to employees for performing a job that requires a second or third language. More unions are pressing for bilingual premium if skill is required for a substantial percentage of the job related to communication. For example, in South Florida, we have obviously English-speaking customers, workers, and colleagues, but we also have millions of people who speak Spanish. So if you have an employee who can speak both Spanish and English and maybe a third language like French or Haitian, they should get additional pay simply because they're able to do something that everybody else is not. Another element of pay is travel pay. So premium should be paid for those who are traveling regularly far away from their home or from their traditional office. Employee services could be another part of negotiation. Most labor agreements provide for a few of services that could include sponsoring social and recreational activities, subsidized food services, company-sponsored credit unions, free or subsidized home computers, legal services, and taken care of one's parents or grandparents. Flexible benefit plans are negotiated in lieu of fixed benefits, where employees can choose the benefits that fit their needs among a designated list and within a price established by the contract. So flexible benefit plans can include medical insurance, vacation, pensions, and even life insurance. Advantages of flexible plans can include controlling the benefit costs, improving benefits offered, attracting and retaining employees based on the specific plans, and avoiding duplicate coverage. Sometimes a childcare can be another great employee service. It's not a mandatory subject of collective bargaining, but there are benefits to the employers, like greater ability to attract and retain good employees who have to take care of their children. Less employee absenteeism because, again, in this case, the employee knows that his or her children are being taken care of. Lower job turnover and improved employee morale. Some employers provide in-house child care centers and financial assistance to pay for child care. Some organizations and institutions do provide elder care programs for employees who must care for older relatives who are not able to fully care for themselves. Unions are increasingly interested in negotiating elder care programs, especially in the state of Florida, where many retirees come and their children obviously would like to have additional help when their parents need to be taken care of. The program's elements could include legal retirement and estate planning. Number 2, geriatric evaluation. So geriatric is basically a branch of medicine that deals with the problems and diseases associated with us as human beings when we get older, usually the age of 65 and older. And third would be long-term care insurance. Other benefit would be credit union, where employer initiates payroll deduction process and union enrolls members, invests funds, and administers the program. In the public sector, public employers provide many employment benefits that are very much similar to the private sector. However, public employers' income maintenance plans only include pension, in-debt, and disability plans. They do not offer wage guarantees, guaranteed income stream plans, and severance packages. And public employers do provide medical plans and premium pay provisions similar to the private sector. This chapter offers you some tips from experts. So for unions, what are the 3 best benefits employees can try to get from their employers? Number 1, employment security as opposed to job security. Number 2, family coverage like health insurance, appropriate leave opportunities, childcare, and elder care. And number 3, opportunity for employee growth through retraining, promotion, education, literacy, in recognition for performance. In terms of management side, what are the 3 benefits that you should avoid as an employer? Number 1, COLA, cost of living adjustments, or any other benefit plan with fixed benefits that are unrelated to cost, or a future plan with fixed entitlement. Number 2, discretionary overtime. And number 3, premium pay for time not worked on any other pay for non-productive time, such as on-call pay. In summary, know that pyramiding is the payment of overtime on the same hours for both daily and weekly overtime rates. Most agreements limit overtime to 1 qualification, for example, the highest rate, but not both. Management strongly believes that allowing pyramiding, which can result in employees receiving even 4 to 5 times the standard rate of pay, is beyond the normal purpose of overtime pay. So good luck taking care of your employees by offering them the right benefits at the right times in an equitable terms.